Hello and welcome to Behind the Plastic, the show where toy photographers talk to toy photographers about photography. Excuse me, I'm a little nervous today because we have an incredible guest. But before I get to my guest, let me introduce my cohorts here. Not a bird, not a plane photography and TMNT 1987. Please say hello, boys.
Hello, boys.
Our guest today needs no introduction, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to bring him on and pinch myself to make sure it's really real. It is! Oh my God, he's here! Sir.Dork himself. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for the kind introduction. To put it lightly, it's very kind. Thanks,
You got me all aflutter.
You guys are great. No, I appreciate you coming. I appreciate you guys bringing me on and letting me just ramble on. Thanks.
Well, you're only going to be able to ramble for 12 minutes because that's right. We have a clock, and I'm going to start it right now. The timer is going.
It's going.
It's going.
All right.
Keep your eye. It's going to go quick. Jared, well, first of all, seriously, thank you for taking the time to come on for us. This is a kind of a dream come true. We're all big fans. You're a very, you're like the face of toy photography for a lot of us. Most of us learned. Well, I can speak for myself and Sully. We learned so much of the stuff we know because of you. So thank you very much. Jay is catching up, and he's learning a ton. We, through all your videos and all your YouTubes and all your Instagram stuff and your presence, we feel like we already know you, but we want to get to know you even a little more. So I'm wondering if you can tell us one thing non-toy photography related about yourself that people may not know.
One thing that I don't know. There's a lot of uninteresting things I could bring up, but what's something interesting? Something interesting. Well, one of the things I bring up that nobody really ever knows, for a large portion of my life, I worked as a potter. I made pottery for about 10 years, from like high school, and then 10 years on. And then every so often I still will help out at this small pottery business. And I just sit down in the studio and make pottery. And that was my job for a really long time.
Do you enjoy it?
It wasn't my chosen profession. Let's say that. Just kind of stumbled. It was like my first job after high school, and I stayed there a long time. But I do kind of, maybe not as a full-time job, but a little bit here and there. It's fun.
Seems like it could be a relaxing gig.
Yeah.
Put on some Karate Kid pan flute music and just.
Yeah, that's exactly that's exactly for the most part what I did. Yeah.
You keep the clothes and the shirt on as you're doing the pottery, right?
Yes, and
we're not going to the ghosts.
Sully, did you have a question for Sir.Dork here?
I was going to ask you, how did you get started? Like, who maybe inspired you to start doing toy photography, or did you just stumble into it? Or
my story is basically the same as just about everybody's. I was a collector, and I was posting stuff on Instagram, just like, check out my cool new figure, just like some horribly shaky, blurry, dark photo that was, just, I had no idea what was going on. And then just by posting stuff on Instagram, noticing that toy photography was a thing and people were doing it, and I was like, wow, this is really cool, and just instantly inspired, and some of the people that really got me doing it was like Sergeant Bananas, which he's like, when you guys say, like, you're the face of toy photography, I'm just like, whoa, like, that's him. To me, that's him.
You're one of the 4 on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, definitely.
that's so cool. Thank you for that. That really does. It's like the craziest thing to hear, but for the most part, he was my biggest inspiration. And at that time, he was just like doing these hard war photos, like really just like dark, but there was very Star Wars, a lot of Hoth stuff, but just like really just hard war. Like, I don't even know how else to explain it, with fireworks, and that was just really what captured me. And so with the practical effects and stuff, and so that's what really got me into it. His style is much different now, but that's what really pulled me in.
Is that where you got the fireworks?
Yeah, him, and there's another guy named Everything Kylo, but he hasn't. I haven't seen him post in years, which is unfortunate. But he really got me into it too.
Wow. Hmm.
Good segue to the photo itself, right, Zach?
Let's take a look at the photo.
Okay. All
Oh,
right.
here we go. It's pretty much the photo that I think about all the time when I think
Oh, cool.
of you. I think of this photo. Apparently,
That's
Sully
awesome.
did too.
Yep. This is the photo when I first saw it. I'm like, I want to do that. And then that's
Really?
when I started. That's when I picked up a camera and started photographing toys. I'm like, this is so cool. I want to do this.
That's so cool. This is also one of my favorites too, and one of the reasons why I like it so much is because it's so incredibly simple.
Hmm.
It was one of the most simplest things I could set up. All it was just the one figure propped up on a piece of wood thingy, and I went to a local train track area just because I thought this was like a cool environment. And I used a timer, put my hand in there, used the big air gun thing, and took the shot. And that's it. Didn't really require much else to do it. And it was actually like December. It was freezing.
Oh, really?
And I needed to come up with this shot. And I did it on my lunch break at work.
No way.
So quick. And I just, the fact that it's simple is what I like about it.
It's
so
simple,
much.
but it's bold. It's striking. It's perfect. And
Thanks.
it's just like, it's everything that a toy photo should be,
I appreciate it a lot.
Is it more than one shot? Like, did you do the air gun and then do your hand with the timer? Or are you like air gunning, fist bumping, and pushing the popper?
air gunning, fist bumping, and using the timer on my remote all the
Are
time.
you serious?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Which is like, it's really not as not quite as bad. Like the fist thing is easy. You just put it there,
Right.
and then the other thing, set the timer, and then it's like,
oh, you're setting a timer. Okay. But
yeah,
how do you know when to do the blowgun at the same time? Like, do you just count 1, 2, 3?
Well, I mean that sometimes takes a few tries for sure, but
Okay.
usually, at least on my camera, and at the time, I was using my Sony at the time. It gives like for usually if you're choosing like your shutter options, like your what's it, continuous shooting, high or low or whatever, there's a timer option. There's a one where you can have like the timer is 10 seconds and it takes 5 photos. Timer is 5 seconds and it takes 3 photos or something. And so it does a whole burst of photos after 10 seconds, which gives me a little bit of a leeway on that.
All right.
Guys, this is going to be very hard for me because I'm going to have my phone in my mouth as I
Get a little tripod. They have tripods for phones.
Yeah. Sir.Dork, quick question here. So I notice a lot of your stuff is done outdoors. Is that your preferred location for shooting?
Yeah, definitely. I've always been outdoors, and outdoors is kind of like a great entryway because you can go outdoors and 90% of the things you need are already there. Like you got your lighting, you sometimes got your diorama right there. You've got almost everything you need right there. So that's one of the reasons why I like to talk about it so much too, is because anyone who wants to do it, they can just go outside and do it. They don't have to get really anything at that at that point. And so when I started, that's how I learned. Just all that stuff was there. So that's still become the thing I'm most comfortable with ever since then. I do like to shoot indoors nowadays, but it took me a while to feel comfortable shooting indoors. Actually, that was like lighting and like doing all that stuff myself was just so intimidating. It's true, because the sun is right there. I was so used to that.
Well, like for this shot, do you have any extra lighting on Superman here? Is that all just the sun?
There is there's a lume cube. I have a little lume cube or let me start that over. There's a little panel LED panel to where the other side where the cape is to his right.
Okay.
It's a little bit of extra lighting. Not that it was super needed, but it was a very overcast day, so it was a nice soft lighting everywhere. Even though the sky looks blue, that's actually a fake blue sky. I used the sky replacement in Photoshop just to get a little bit of that, because sometimes that blank white sky, especially on a cloudy day, can be a little boring.
Absolutely.
You mentioned that this was winter. Hey man, where's the snow?
Yeah, this was sometimes in my opinion, a better winter when there's not a lot of snow, because I'm not a big fan of it.
But you get awesome Godzilla shots with snow. So.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, you do get a really great novelty of doing wintry shots, Hoth, stuff like that.
Hoth, yep.
That gets old real quick. It gets old. It gets old quick. But this was before it actually snowed that year.
In the last 40 seconds before the hot seat, I'm wondering what your favorite part of the process is. Is it the ideas? Is it setting up, shooting, editing? What's your favorite part?
Man, it's tough. I mean, I love, I guess, every part of it. The shots like this that are very simple, the setting up and taking the shot does get really fun. Sometimes if it's a very complicated, I get nervous and I'm like, there's so much stuff. And then I think probably my favorite, I don't want to say the editing is my favorite, but when I finish and edit a shot and I can look at it and be like, okay, my idea is right here and it's done. And I can look at it like on the phone, like when I pull it up on my phone for the first time, that's a great feeling.
It is
a great
feeling. Definitely. It's not real until it's all on the phone.
Yeah, it's like, and usually it's like I'll have an idea and it'll be stirring in for a long time before I can actually do it. So it'll be like, finally my idea is done.
Nice.
Okay, hot seat, ready.
Hot seat. Are you ready for the hot seat?
All right.
Sorry, Lori. We got to deal with it. Okay, most underrated Star Wars character.
Ooh, most underrated Star Wars character. I'm gonna go with my favorite stormtrooper, the patrol trooper from Solo. Everybody always forgets about that guy.
Nice.
He's my favorite stormtrooper design. I love that guy.
Cool. Sticking to Star Wars, rate Jedi Survivor. What out of 10?
I would like to say like an 8 or a 9 because I really loved it, but I did encounter a literal game-breaking bug at the end of it, which I have not still been able to pass. And so the finale of the story of the game got ruined. I'm really upset about it because I really loved it until then.
Christopher Reeves or Henry Cavill?
I'm gonna say Henry. Henry's will probably always be my Superman, but I absolutely adore and love everything about Christopher Reeve. Also,
would you rather wield a lightsaber or have laser eyes?
I don't know. Probably laser eyes. Laser eyes are a lot more universal. I could do stuff with it if I'm good with it. I could just like do a tiny little bit and heat up my drink or something if I'm good with it.
Sir.Dork, worst job you've held?
Worst job I've held? I haven't had a whole lot of jobs, to be honest. My first job was at Kmart, and I worked there for about a month before I got fired.
Sounds like it might be the worst.
Fired. Yeah, that'd be it.
Did Han Solo shoot first?
Well, for me, I grew up watching the gold box special edition.
3, 2, 1. Yes or no?
So no.
I know you're waiting for the CIA.